Hello, and welcome to our session on how to build your foundation for modern security and compliance with Microsoft 365 Deployment Assistance. I'm Jennifer Burdett, and I'm here with Emily Raker. We both serve as Senior Program Managers with Microsoft 365 FastTrack. We have a few security and compliance topics that we would like to cover with you today in the next 30 minutes. We will spend a little bit of time talking about Microsoft's unique approach to security along with the challenges of discovering and managing data. From there, we will talk about how Microsoft 365 can help you achieve a modern workplace by reviewing what you can expect from FastTrack and what a typical engagement looks like with us. And lastly, we'll go through the actions that you can take after watching this presentation to improve your organization's security and compliance. When it comes to defending against cyber attacks, we must consider the growing complexity of our digital estate. Things like, how do we think about our assets? What must we defend against? IT organizations find themselves responsible for protecting a crisscrossing web of technologies they may not own, from user-owned mobile devices used to access corporate data, to systems and devices used by your partners and customers to access your information. With 7 billion internet-connected devices in use worldwide, and that's not including laptops or mobile devices, there are multiple points of vulnerability. All of this complexity also creates additional compliance challenges. It is critical to understand what you have, what is sensitive, what needs to be kept, and for how long. And that's in addition to securing everything across your heterogeneous environments. All of this is a shared challenge to IT security, so you're not alone. Fortunately, there's a way forward, and the future of cybersecurity is in the cloud. Microsoft's trusted public cloud is uniquely suited for this challenge due to our simplicity, speed, and scale. Our cloud unlocks a new generation of security. Now let's talk a little bit more about Microsoft's approach to securing your organization before we talk about how FastTrack can help you with it. We build our technology with these three foundational principles. First is built-in experiences that work across platforms. Your business needs to grow and evolve, and your employees require a frictionless work experience. A secure environment allows that to happen. We're committed to delivering seamless experiences and built-in protection that works across platforms. Our approach to security delivers a simplified experience for users, ensuring everyone can get their job done securely, regardless of where they work and which tools they use. AI and automation to secure your future. Tackling a challenge as complex as cybercrime requires continuous innovation and a whole new playbook. We arm your team with ever-evolving cloud-scale AI and automation to cut through the noise and eliminate repetitive tasks so they can focus on what matters with speed and accuracy. And third, integrated across people, devices, applications, and data. Our solutions integrate across the ecosystem by connecting identities, devices, apps, and clouds to help you close the gaps in coverage, reduce risk, and simplify your portfolio. Now let's dive into each one of these just a little bit more. It's critical that security stays in the background, providing built-in experiences that enable users to grow their business anywhere, from any device, on any platform. If your security is too burdensome, people will find risky ways around it to get their work done. So examples of what we've done to create built-in security are multi-factor authentication, passwordless sign-on, and single sign-on for more than 1 million apps, which gives people one set of protected credentials to seamlessly access everything that they need without interrupting their workflows. By unifying security across platforms, it not only helps improve user productivity, it also helps to deliver coverage across your environment from Windows and Mac to Linux, from iOS to Android, from Azure to AWS to GCP, and from Workday and ServiceNow to Salesforce.com. With these connections, we can extend intelligent access policies to your corporate resources and give users the consistent, frictionless experience that they demand while empowering IT admins to uniformly manage across the resources and enforce governance controls regardless of their platform. We can cut through false alarms, quickly identifying threats, even those never seen before attacks, streamline threat investigations, and help automate remediation using AI and automation. With more than 8 trillion threat signals processed daily, our advanced machine learning trains with best-in-class intelligence. Machine learning and automation link together individual signals and then correlate the related events to provide important context. Machine learning and automation link together individual signals and then correlate the related events to provide important context. Now, detection is critical. However, it's equally important to end the attack before damage occurs. That's why we've invested in automation that works with accuracy and velocity. With AI-powered capabilities, customers can cut alert noise by 90% with just the most critical thorny issues, the top 10%, elevated to your security team to handle. Intelligence can also accelerate our ability to understand the full scale of larger attacks by employing machine learning and automation to link together individual signals and then correlate related events to provide that important context. A recent study found that 88% of organizations who consolidate their security portfolio indicate that they've diminished their breach risk. Reducing the number of disparate security point solutions that must interact with each other, particularly older legacy systems, really brings complexity down to a manageable level and closes those critical gaps. These companies can also yield cost savings by lowering technology budgets, increasing management efficiencies, and avoiding the costs of a data breach or regulatory non-compliance. And that's why our integrated security solution is built to deliver comprehensive coverage across your entire environment, such as endpoints, email, clouds, identities, networks, and even IoT devices. With Microsoft security products, you can take advantage of our integration of breadth and depth by gaining full visibility and control over your threat landscape. No matter what your security portfolio looks like, Microsoft can support your needs for comprehensive integrated security. Now I'd like to turn it over to my coworker, Emily.
Thanks, Jennifer, for the great overview of Microsoft 365's ability to help our customers secure some of their most valuable assets. I'll now transfer to Microsoft 365's built-in capabilities that can help you and your employees operate in a compliant manner. The compliance landscape is fragmented and confusing for everyone because there are many compliance categories and many solutions within each of those categories. For example, based upon your industry or region, there can be many regulations and requirements across all data repositories. Within each of those, there are dozens or maybe even hundreds of solutions to choose from. In today's world, with the added complexities of remote work and global workforces, organizations need to figure out how they will manage, protect, and govern their data. Data protection processes have had to modernize to align to the new ways we work and interact with our information every day. While utilizing mobile devices allows employees to fundamentally work more efficiently, and the majority of enterprise organizations store sensitive data in the cloud, there's a bigger need now than ever to prevent loss or inappropriate sharing of sensitive data, even when accidental. There are some reasons behind the complexities of enabling compliance and managing your organization's data. In addition to protecting and governing your data, you also need to discover your data effectively and efficiently. You have many compliance issues like GDPR, HIPAA, PPA, and other regulations, all of which your organization is responsible for being aware of and responding to appropriately and in a timely manner. With increasing complexity in discovering data across numerous platforms and applications, with exponential growth in data volumes, And while users are collaborating beyond traditional email channels like chat workspaces, customers are asking us how can they quickly get to what they need when they need it. In addition to detecting, protecting, governing, and managing data, organizations need to be aware of insider risk because it's really one of your biggest challenges. 90% of organizations feel vulnerable to insider risks, whether inadvertent or malicious. When it comes to compliance, you need to protect and govern your data, discover data effectively and efficiently, and mitigate risks from insiders. So now let's look at how FastTrack can help you manage compliance and mitigate risk. Microsoft 365's solution to compliance problems aligns to 3 pillars. Information protection and governance, which helps customers know their data better and protect and govern data throughout its life cycle. Insider risk management, which quickly identifies and manages risks from insiders, that could be employees or contractors with corporate access, and minimizes negative impact. Discover and respond, which helps discover relevant data for internal investigations, litigation, or regulatory requests, and respond to them efficiently. And finally, compliance management brings this all together by simplifying your risk assessment and mitigation in an automated way. FastTrack helps customers configure identity, security, compliance, and cloud management. In the coming year, you'll continue to see FastTrack expand upon our offerings in the security and compliance space. FastTrack also helps enable Microsoft Teams, including chat, meetings, voice, and events, and helps guide the deployment of Windows 10, other Microsoft 365 apps, and Microsoft Edge. And last but not least, FastTrack performs email and data migration and ensures application compatibility with the App Assure service. Now let's look at how we do this. We do this using a proven process to help customers move to and use the cloud. FastTrack is an ongoing and repeatable benefit to help you deploy and adopt Microsoft 365 cloud services at your own pace. The journey starts by creating a plan for a successful deployment. We'll help assess where your organization is today and identify what actions you should complete before, during, and after deployment. Approved partners and Microsoft Consulting or Premier Services can help remediate issues, providing guidance on actions to be taken prior to deployment. Once these issues are resolved, the FastTrack team works with customers and partners to enable cloud solutions. Getting users to adopt the new solution is the last step in the process and one of the most important. Customers can leverage online adoption resources and best practices to help increase user adoption. I'm going to hand it back to Jennifer to help you learn what to expect from engaging with FastTrack and what your responsibilities are going to be along the way.
FastTrack delivers remote guidance to help you deploy and adopt Microsoft Cloud solutions. We provide expert onboarding and deployment guidance, and will perform data migrations for customers with more than 500 licenses. Customers also get best practices through self-service tools and online resources. You can either work alone or with a partner to perform hands-on work, including project management, on-site readiness training, and remediation. Customers with fewer than 500 licenses work alone or with partners to perform email and data migration. Customers who are working alone or with partners are able to customize their project beyond what is outlined in the FastTrack service description. FastTrack will guide you through ensuring your organization is secure, starting with protecting your identities. Once you're comfortable with the level of security of your users, we will move on to protecting your devices. Tapping into the configuration done for your identities and devices will help you leverage secure applications. And last but certainly not least, we'll help you set up policies to protect your data. While this is a recommended flow for securing your organization, we are flexible to work with you on each area in parallel or in an order that makes sense for your organization. For example, one of the customers we work with doesn't have a security operations team despite being a global organization, though their IT department has a whole range of knowledge and skills within it. This customer is governed by GDPR, and 99% of their devices are using Windows. When we started working with them, we helped them to sync their identities from Azure up to Azure Active Directory and begin to manage their machines through Intune and group policies. They have been taking advantage of Intune's RBAC roles to delegate elevated controls to different administrators so they can manage the devices within their region. As an additional layer of protection for their corporate data, we help them set up BitLocker policies to encrypt computer hard drives and app protection policies to protect corporate data that may be on personal devices. Also, they use our threat and vulnerability management tools to remediate any security vulnerabilities. This also helps them be ready for their annual security audit. Another tool our customers use is Microsoft Secure Score. Microsoft Secure Score is our in-product collection of security recommendations for protecting against attacks and to generally strengthen your security posture when it comes to users, devices, applications, and data. Microsoft Secure Score resides in the Microsoft 365 Security Center and is tied to your environment. You can measure your secure score in near real time based on your configuration. Use it to prioritize and plan improvements, and finally, to track your progress based on our recommendations.
Now let's talk about the FastTrack compliance engagement. To get started, we'll help guide you through several steps to ensure a strong foundation for the engagement, including ensuring data exists in Office 365, defining team roles and responsibilities, and reviewing your compliance score. Then we have a set of leading scenarios where we look for quick win solutions that every organization should implement as a compliance baseline. Using these solutions causes less disruption to the organization and its users. The first scenario is to know your data, which helps you understand the landscape of sensitive and business critical data across your organization. This step helps guide informed decisions on the solutions you should deploy to mitigate data risks. We can also discuss communication compliance, data loss prevention, and insider risk management, which can be done fairly quickly and with little user disruption. Lastly, we have compliance in depth, which are solutions that take more time and effort to deploy due to their impact on your users. These include information protection, information governance, advanced e-discovery, and records management. While FastTrack supports customers throughout their onboarding experience, we also provide continuous guidance as customers adopt the latest features and advancements throughout their compliance journeys. Recently, the Chief Information Security Officer of a major healthcare customer reached out as they plan to adopt the latest version of advanced e-discovery. The Microsoft FastTrack team delivered multiple workshops, guiding them through permissions, adding non-Office 365 data access to cases, understanding how teams group messages and private channels are captured, running searches using compliance-based labels and sensitive information types, and bulk adding custodians. Throughout this engagement, the customer was able to operationalize advanced e-discovery and build a standard operating procedure for their legal team. We're excited to be sharing the general availability of the new Compliance Manager at Ignite 2020. This is the next generation version of the existing Compliance Manager and Compliance Score solutions. With Compliance Manager, you can continuously assess and monitor data protection controls. Get clear guidance on how to improve your score, reducing compliance risks, and leverage the built-in control mapping to scale your compliance effort across global, industry, and regional standards. Microsoft Compliance Manager measures your progress towards completing recommended actions that help reduce risks around data protection and regulatory standards. This feature is available in all Microsoft 365 Enterprise plans. Now that we've given you insight into how Microsoft 365 can help your organization stay on top of your security and compliance needs, I'll share specific actions to get you started. As you build out your Microsoft 365 adoption plans, make sure to include security and compliance from the very beginning. Access the FastTrack website at www.microsoft.com/fasttrack to learn more about how we can help you when it comes to security and compliance. Last and certainly not least, see what your current security and compliance postures look like by diving into your secure score at https://security.microsoft.com/secure-score and visit the Compliance Manager at https://compliance.microsoft.com/compliance score. Thank you so much for your time with us today.
Thanks so much. See you soon.